Alright guys, so we are going to talk about these cute little quadratic equations over the next few days. We already have some skills though, but we're going to be referencing back to them. So anyways, we're doing this activity now, because I want to. Okay, so on page 45, 46, and 47, you have a bunch of quadratic equations. There are 16 of them. Then on the next pages, I made sure these were single-sided. So 49, 51, and 53 all have graphs that are quadratic equations as well. So each of these graphs matches up with each of these equations. Now, there are different ways to tell and to match which equations are which. One of the easiest ways is to do this. So we can make a table of values. Now, sometimes the table of values that we pick might not be on our graphs. So you have to realize that our graphs are about a 6 by 6, maybe 6, they're 6 by 7. So if you get a value that isn't on your graph, then that's not going to be very helpful for you. The best way is to figure out what the vertexes are, but on some of these and some of these equations, you're not sure how to find a vertex, or maybe it looks really complicated. So there are other methods. One of the easiest methods is to create a table of values. Okay, and then I'm going to show you a few different types of methods that you could use to figure out what graph belongs with which equation. So I'm going to pick some numbers really fast. I'm going to pick -1, 0, and 1. I'm going to start with those and kind of see what we get. And then maybe we'll have to adjust. We're just going to see. So if we plug in -1 to where our x is, so we have -2 times -1 squared. -1 squared is 1. 1 times -2 is -2. Then if I plug in 0, -2 times 0 squared, well, that's going to be 0. And then if I plug in +1, so 1 squared is 1 times 2, -2. Okay, so I have some nice ordered pairs that will probably fit on my graph. Then we're going to look at our a value. So the number in front of your x squared, if it's negative, remember then our graph is going to open up down. So I should have a dot at 0, 0, and then let's just go with this one, 1, -2. So our x value is 1, so we go right 1, and then we're going to go down 2, because that's our y value. Okay, so 0, 0 opens down, and then 1, -2. So that's what we're looking for on our graphs. So 0, 0, none of those. Oh, this one is 0, 0. 1, -2 opens down, and then it's -1, 2. Yep, this is it. So F belongs with number 1, and that is F. Okay, so this guy is our vertex. So then you would cut out that and glue that here. Or you can just write these by it. It's really not a big deal. It's just more fun to glue it. Okay, let's look at number 5. So on number 5, we learned about writing the vertex using -b over 2a. Well, I have that information here, so why not? Okay, so -b is -8 over 2 times 1. So -8, that's +8 divided by 2 is 4. Okay, so that is my x value, and I'm going to plug that back in here. So I have 4 squared minus 8 times 4 plus 11, and I just don't want to think about it, so we are going to use our calculator. So 4, just be careful when you square. If you square negatives, 2 negatives multiplied together make a positive. Be very careful. Okay, so -5. So my vertex is at 4, -5, and since my a value is positive, it opens up. So I'm looking for a 4, -5 that opens up, which would be graph 5. 4, -5, nope. 4, -5 that opens up, nope. All right, well, keep going. Oh, heavens. I can't turn the page. Okay, 4, -5. Uh-oh. Did we do something wrong? To the right 4 and down 5. To the right 4 and down 5. To the right 4 and down 5. Oh, I just missed it. Okay, look at this guy. So to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It opens up. This is number 5. It was E. I just went too fast. Silly Miss Nebby. Okay, so E matches 5. So you could do the same thing on number 6. You could do negative B over 2A to figure out the vertex, because again, that's going to be the easiest, and that's our x value. So negative B is negative 4 over 2 times 1/2. Well, negative 4, wait, 2 times a half. Half of 2 is 1, negative 4. So negative 4 is our x value. So we're going to plug that in here. We have 1/2 times, oh, definitely love that I can show you this. Oops, x is our negative 4. Yeah, look at me save that. Plus 9. Okay, now, when you type this in, please be very careful. Watch. If I type negative 4 in my parentheses and my square on the outside, I get the correct answer because negative 4 times negative 4 should give me a positive 16. A lot of you forget and you do this, negative 4 squared. You're like, but why did it give me negative 16? So right here, this guy in your calculator, you're telling your calculator to do this. That's what you're telling your calculator to do. So that's why it gives you negative 16. So parentheses are important. This is the best way where you have the negative 4 in parentheses and then squared on the outside. Okay, so, oh yeah, that's right. I forgot what I was doing. I got so excited to show you. Okay, so I'm going to type 1/2. I like to put my fractions in my calculator with parentheses. You don't have to. I just like to. I think it's because I learned on some old school calculators, and that's what you had to do. So then 4 squared plus 4 times negative 4 plus 9, and I get 1. Okay, so my vertex for number 6 is going to be at negative 4, 1, because remember this is your y value. And since my A is positive, it's going to open up. So negative 4, 1, opening up. Good heavens, negative 4, 1. Those guys are not good. Negative 4, 1, not those guys. Oh, there it is. Negative 4, 1, it opens up. So that matches. So P matches with number 6. So number 6 is P. At the very end, you're going to have to take a quiz and tell me which ones match. Okay, if you wanted to try number 4 and do that exact same thing, where you do negative B over 2A, you totally could, because that's our x value. Here's the thing. When you don't have a middle term, so this is technically 3x squared plus 0x plus 2, it's a 0. So now we're going to plug that in. Well, 0 over anything is 0. So this has a vertex at 0. And then for the y value, it's going to be 2. Because if I have 3 0 squared plus 2, 0 squared is 0, 3 times 0 is 0, plus 2 is just my 2. So my vertex is at 0, 2. And it opens up at 0, 2. So then I will go over here. 0, 2. Ooh, K. 0, 2. And it opens up. So which number was that? 4. Number 4 is K. All right. Keeping that idea in mind, there was one that I wanted to show you. Hold on. So I wanted to show you number 2. Let's say I use that same idea. If I did negative B over 2A, well, if I'm looking here, I don't have a B value, so not having a B value, that's going to give me a 0 for my B, and then honestly it doesn't matter. My x value is going to be B, or 0. Okay, then I plug this guy in. Well, this is negative 1/4 times 0 squared, so that also will be 0. So my vertex is going to be on 0, 0. Now here's the problem. Also it opens down because there's Q little negative. So we do know that. But the problem is that I have more than one vertex at 0, 0 opening down. So I had this guy, which we already figured out. And then I have this guy. Okay, and then I think that's it. Okay, just those two. So since I already figured out the other one, then I know that it's J. But here's the thing. If I would have done negative b over 2a with 1, I would have gotten that same answer. So negative b over 2a, my b value again is 0, so that means that my x value is 0. And then when I plug this in, I would get my y value of 0. So my vertex is at 0, 0. So see how they have the same vertex? So if you do negative b over 2a, that's totally fine. But then after, you might have to make a table of values in order to figure out which graph is which. So like here, I would just pick a number to make for my table of values so I could calculate if this is it. So I maybe would pick 1, because 1 is nice. So negative 1/4 times 1 squared, well then that gives me negative 1/4. Maybe that's not the best number to pick. So we would need something, 2. 2 would be good. So negative 1/4 times 2 squared. Because I know if I get a 4 in here, I know that 4 divided by 4 is going to be pretty. So 2 squared is 4, negative 1/4 times 4 is going to be negative 1. So this guy should have an intersection of 2, negative 1, and honestly 1, negative 1/4, but that kind of stinks. So 2, negative 1. So look for 0, 0, and 2, negative 1. So here is the 0, 0, 2, negative 1 is not there, okay? So it's definitely not F. All right, so 0, 0, and we said it was 1 1/4. So yeah, it actually is looking right. And then 2, negative 1. So for sure, J matches with number 2. Okay, and J. All right, so there you go. There is all of the things. Okay, so remember, you might have to manipulate this so this is in a better form. This you might end up like wanting to multiply through. You have the options to pick what you would like to do in order to figure out which of these match. So good luck and have lots of fun. Bye guys!